Let me paint the picture for you, because this is where things get messy. The smoke was still clearing on Spoon Island. Ross Cullum was bleeding out. Jocelyn was standing there, adrenaline pumping through her veins, realizing the sheer magnitude of the disaster. She knew Jason Morgan was locked up in a secret facility. She knew Valentine Cassadine was facing the rest of his life in a WSB black hole. So she looked at the chessboard and she made a sacrifice. But she did not sacrifice herself. She sacrificed Cassius. She walked right up to Z, the head of the WSB, a man who thrives on secrets and leverage, and she offered him a deal he simply could not refuse. She told Z to take every single dirty, twisted, illegal action connected to that cold fusion prototype and stamp Cassius Phazon's name on it. She fabricated a narrative where Cassius was the ultimate mastermind. She wiped Ross Cullum's slate clean in the public eye just to use Cassius as the ultimate fall guy. If you ask me, this is the ultimate betrayal. Cassius was already bleeding out. He took a bullet from Ross Cullum. He was fighting for his life, and while he was gasping for air, Jocelyn was busy burying his name in the dirt. She branded him a terrorist. She made him public enemy number 1 in Port Charles. She ensured that his reputation was permanently destroyed. And the worst part? It worked. Jason is free. Valentine is free. And Cassius is trapped in a living hell that he cannot escape. But that is not even the biggest surprise. Z did not save Cassius out of the goodness of his heart. Z does not do charity. When Z pulled Cassius from the brink of death, he was not giving him a second chance at life. He was putting a collar around his neck. Guys, Z knew exactly what he was doing. He watched Jocelyn frame Cassius, and he let it happen because it gave him the ultimate weapon. Z walked into that secret medical facility, looked down at a broken, bleeding Cassius, and laid out the cold, hard truth. Cassius has no life to return to. Port Charles hates him. The police want him dead or alive. The citizens think he is the mastermind behind the cold fusion disaster. If he steps foot in that town, he is dead or spending the rest of his life in Steinmauer. Z cornered him. He gave Cassius an impossible choice. Die a villain in a maximum security cell or become a ghost for the WSB. A secret agent with no name, no identity, and no freedom. And then everything spiraled. Cassius had no choice. He took the deal. He became Z's personal weapon. But here is the twisted reality of his new life. He can never go back. He can never clear his name. He has to live every single day knowing that James, the little boy he grew to love, thinks he is an absolute monster. He has to know that Lulu Spencer looks back on their time together with pure disgust. He is completely isolated. A phantom operating in the shadows. Every mission he takes for the WSB is a brutal reminder of the life that was stolen from him. For months, this is his reality. We are talking about Cassius moving through foreign countries, executing Z's dark orders, living out of burner phones and fake passports. He becomes a hollow shell of the man who once sat in the PCPD bullpen pretending to be Nathan. He loses his humanity. He accepts his fate as a WSB dog on a leash. But you cannot keep a Phazon chained forever. Something is bound to snap. And guys, this is where it gets interesting. That breaking point is coming in the most explosive way possible. Because out of nowhere, a piece of intel crosses his desk that makes his blood run cold. It is a target profile, a kidnapping. And the face staring back at him from the dossier is none other than Maxie Jones. Everything may have just changed. Maxie gets snatched right off the streets of Port Charles. 1 minute she is planning her life. The next minute she is shoved into the back of an unmarked van. No ransom note. No demands. She just vanishes without a trace. Dante Falconeri tears the city apart looking for her. The PCPD is running in absolute circles, but they find absolutely nothing. Because this is not a mob hit. This is not a random crime. This is a highly coordinated, top-tier extraction. And Cassius knows exactly who did it. The WSB. Maybe Z orchestrated it to keep Cassius in line. Maybe a rogue faction within the agency grabbed her because they discovered the truth about the twin swap and think she knows where the real Nathan's assets are hidden. Whatever the reason, Maxie is locked in a dark, damp cell in an undisclosed black site, completely terrified and alone. What happened next may be even worse for Z's master plan. Cassius realizes the truth. The WSB is playing a sick game, and he is not going to stand by and let the woman Nathan loved, the mother of James, rot in a WSB dungeon. He breaks protocol. He goes entirely rogue. He burns his WSB credentials, steals the intel, and launches a one-man rescue mission. He knows that if Z finds out, he is a dead man. He knows that if he fails, Maxie dies. But he does not care. For the first time in his life, Cassius is not pretending to be Nathan to get what he wants. He is acting out of pure, unadulterated desperation. He tracks Maxie down to a heavily fortified compound. He kicks down the doors. He dodges bullets. He takes out every single guard standing in his way. This is not the fake Nathan we saw drinking coffee at the Metro Court. This is a lethal, desperate man with nothing left to lose. And that changes everything. When Cassius finally blows the lock off her cell door, the scene is pure chaos. Maxie is huddled in the corner. She looks up, the smoke clears, and she sees him. She sees Nathan's face. For a split second, she thinks she is hallucinating. But then the reality sets in. She knows the truth. She knows about the imposter. She knows this is Cassius, the man who lied to her family, the man who broke James's heart, the man the whole world thinks is a dead terrorist. She shrinks back. She tells him to stay away. But Cassius does not care about her anger. He only cares about her survival. He grabs her, shielding her body with his own as bullets fly past them. They fight their way out of the compound. Cassius takes a hit. He is bleeding, struggling to breathe, but he refuses to drop her hand. He drags them both into a stolen vehicle and they speed off into the night. Here is where things get incredibly intense. They are on the run. The entire might of the WSB is hunting them. Z is absolutely furious that his weapon turned against him. Cassius and Maxie are forced to hide in a remote cabin, completely cut off from the world. Cassius is severely injured. Maxie has to patch him up. She has his blood on her hands, and in that tiny, quiet, terrifying space, the walls finally come down. Maxie demands answers. She demands to know why the man who supposedly ruined everything just threw his life away to save her. And Cassius tells her everything. He tells her about Jocelyn's betrayal. He tells her about Z's blackmail. He tells her about the agonizing pain of living as a ghost, unable to ever see James again. He strips away every lie, every face-on defense mechanism, and shows her his shattered soul. Maxie listens. And for the first time, she truly sees him. She does not see the fake Nathan West. She does not see the imposter who tricked Lulu. She sees a man who has been manipulated, abused, and scapegoated by everyone around him. She sees a man who just wanted to belong. She realizes that his love for James was real. His desire for a family was real. The Phazon legacy is a curse, but Cassius was trying to break it. And in that moment, the anger fades. The forgiveness starts to take root. They are two broken people hiding from a world that wants them dead. The trauma bond they form in that cabin is unbreakable. Maxie stops looking at him as a ghost of her past and starts seeing him as her present. They fall in love. It is messy, it is complicated, and it is incredibly dangerous, but it is real. Cassius finally finds the light he has been searching for his entire life. But wait, we have a massive problem. They cannot stay in that cabin forever. And they absolutely cannot go back to Port Charles. If they return, it is a death sentence. The WSB will snatch Maxie again. Sonny Corinthos will eliminate Cassius just on principle. The PCPD will arrest him immediately. They are outcasts. They have to disappear forever. But Maxie cannot leave without James. She will not abandon her son. Cassius knows this. He knows that if they want a real future, they have to risk everything one last time. They have to go back into the belly of the beast. They have to infiltrate Port Charles, grab James, and vanish before anyone even realizes they are there. Guys, this is where it gets absolutely nail-biting. They plan the ultimate extraction. They sneak back into Port Charles under the cover of darkness. The city is crawling with threats. They have to dodge Dante's police patrols. They have to avoid Sonny's enforcers. They navigate the alleys and the shadows, moving like phantoms. They track James down. They wait for the perfect split-second window. Maxie steps out first. James runs to his mother crying, thinking he had lost her forever. And then Cassius steps out of the shadows. James freezes. The boy who had his heart broken by the truth about the twin swap is staring right at the man he thought was his father. But Cassius drops to his knees. He does not pretend. He tells James the truth. He tells him that they are leaving and they want to be a real family. James does not care about the lies anymore. He just wants his family. He hugs Cassius. They have to move. The alarms are going to sound any minute. They slip away into the night, leaving Port Charles behind forever. When the sun comes up, Dante and Cody realize Maxie and James are gone. The city goes into lockdown, but it is too late. Cassius, Maxie, and James are already halfway across the world. They settle in a completely hidden location, far away from the mob, far away from the WSB, far away from the Faison legacy. For the first time in his life, Cassius is truly free. He has a wife who loves the real him. He has a son. He has peace. It is the ultimate redemption story. But let me ask you this. Do you really think Z is going to let his best rogue agent walk away? Do you think the WSB just stops hunting? You think a Faison can ever truly outrun their shadow? They might be smiling on a beach right now, but someone is always watching. Someone is always tracking. And when that door inevitably gets kicked in, who is going to be standing on the other side? We are not ready for the fallout.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.